Is Oklahoma City Energy finally coming back into the USL Championship? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. But before we do, welcome to the USL Insight, where we talk about the USL Championship, just news happening around the league. And if you're a fan of the USL, please give this video a like because it really helps with the algorithm to get more exposure for this league. But with that, why don't we get into it? And it was just announced a couple of days ago that the Oklahoma City Energy, they got majority owner, with Bob Funk Jr., which, by the way, how cool of a name is that? Bob Funk. And Tim McLaughlin, still remaining owners, but just not the majority. They're stepping down, or not stepping down, but they're not, they're not the top dogs anymore. That is now Echo. And yeah, so with that, it's big news because it's one step closer for this team to be able to come back onto the pitch, to come back and be able to begin operations again. Now, the Oklahoma City Energy, like I said, was founded by Bob Funk and Tim McLaughlin in 2013. They didn't start playing until 2014. And they played all the way until 2021. The reason why they had to stop or had to be on hiatus was because they weren't meeting the requirements of the stadium within the USL Championship in order to compete in the league. They were not meeting the requirements. So they had to take a hiatus. They always said that this was not going to be the end. It was just a break and they were going to come back one day. And it looks like with this new ownership group, that possibility is coming sooner. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this new group, if they're going to be able to bring in players soon, make announcements of a head coach, a sporting director, something to kind of get the ball rolling, to make it seem like, yeah, this is going to be for real. It's not going to be one of those things where, this hiatus was in 2021 or in 2024 and still nothing. I'll be honest, when you think of a break, you don't really think of a break for a team being this long. At least that's me. That's my case. I would have just thought it was over, folded. Hopefully within a couple of months or something soon, we'll be able to see a person where we can kind of count on them and be like, okay, yeah, this is really happening. And there's also encouraging news because Oklahoma City was going through this plan of getting a new stadium, a soccer-specific stadium for Oklahoma City Energy. And it seems like that's going to be coming up within the City Hall meetings, and that's one step closer as well, because there were renderings a couple of years ago, I believe, where it was a 10,000 seat stadium and the stadium looked really nice. I'll be honest, every rendering always looks nice, but sometimes, the picture is a little bit misleading. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. We'll see if this is going to be the fruition of it, or we'll see if this is what it's going to look like, or it might change because of this new ownership group. They may have different ideas, different viewpoints of where they want to be or what's going to happen. But like the new owner has said, or the new group has said, Oklahoma City does look like a place where there is fans for soccer. They have proven that before. There was also a rivalry. They had one with FC Tulsa. They had derby matches, and those are always fun. In soccer, that is what you want to see, a good derby. And so maybe we'll be able to have that come back soon enough, and we'll be able to see them competing again in the championship just in general. But overall, it's definitely exciting to see one of the original teams in the USL Championship coming back. I understand it was called the USL before and then the USL Pro, but just the championship, one of the first ones to be back, is always great. It's always something positive within the league. Who doesn't like that kind of title? To say we were one of the first and then look at us still being here. But overall, I think it's great news. I think the league is growing. This is just something that is continuing on that example of what can happen. I'm sure the fans there are going to be excited to see their team come back. And then who knows, maybe they'll change the name, maybe they'll change the colors. It'll be very interesting to see what this new team is going to look like in the future. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is it good? Is it bad that the team is going to be able to come back? Or is it kind of just one of those things where you're going to see this as just another team joining the USL Championship? But then very quickly, another thing that was announced was that in Reno, they're actually trying to look for a stadium as well. And they want to build a stadium so that they can host two teams, one in the USL League One and then the Super League. So a men's team and a women's team. And actually, I think it's great that they want to start off in League One first, because a lot of teams, I feel like, make that jump into the championship and there really isn't, I guess, a market, or I don't really know how to explain it, but for some reason it doesn't work out. So maybe in the League One, they'll be able to try it out better, kind of get a feel for it within the couple of years, because there was already a team in the championship, Reno 1868 FC. But unfortunately, during COVID, they had to stop operations. And so I think it's great that they want to try to get into League One. And then with this one, with Reno, I believe it was more of because of COVID, right? It was a newer team. You haven't really made all that money yet. So it was just, it sucked. The whole world was shut down. And that was just a result, right? You're going to have businesses go out of business, especially when you are so new and you can't bring fans into the stadium. How are you going to make money? Maybe with this, they were able to see, yeah, there is a market there and we want to try again, but not to the greater scale. And I understand it's not going to be Reno 1868 again, but I'm just saying they want to try small, and I'm all for that. League One is a great place to start out, is a great place to try out, and so we'll see what happens there. Hopefully it's able to succeed, and hopefully it's able to go through within the process of the city as well. But yeah, guys, these are exciting times for the USL. You know, teams are trying to get in here, and I think quickly before the World Cup happens, I think a lot of teams want to start now. You know, a lot of times during the World Cup, there's a lot of hype for soccer, and a lot of people get into it. There's always new fans of soccer during that time. So I think a lot of teams want to jump in now before that way. Within those cities that are coming out, the new ones, there are fans that will be like, oh my gosh, there's a team here. Why don't I go support them? You know, realize that, hey, I can go there to the game, and it's not just every 4 years that I have to like soccer. So yeah, I think that's why the league is trying so hard to get teams. I think there's like a rapid growth happening, and so we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. And with that, I will see you guys all on the next one.